Hi, Dr. Sam here. Something really stuck out last week, and it's front and center still on my mind today, so I wanted to share it with you now. While writing my weekly highlights email, I reflected upon a series of calls I've had lately with women who are seriously struggling with anxiety. Situations they'd handled with ease before are really causing them great distress. They're finding themselves making excuses to cancel any and all things that they used to enjoy. They'll RSVP yes and then no show at networking events or even business lunches. One woman canceled her massage. As she put it, she was too stressed to go. Now, some women even are canceling business or not accepting new business because, as they shared with me, they just can't handle it right now. So when we dug into the issues at hand, the root cause of the anxiety was related to perimenopause. Now, across the board, they weren't breathing fully during our conversations even. And when I brought this to their attention, they noticed that they did find themselves having to take a big breath quite regularly. And that alone can dial up the stress hormones. For some, it's the physical changes that ride shotgun with perimenopause that are affecting them the most. They're bleeding more than usual, or they're skipping periods. Hello, pregnancy test. And then they're convinced that they'll start any minute now. Some are having periods every couple of weeks. Others have cramps that are unbearable. Some of the women that I've spoken with are, get this, are they having 10 to 20 hot flushes a day? Can you imagine how that would seriously impede upon their work? Now, some of these women, myself included, have lapses in word recall. Now, not the kind of lapses that warrant a neuro exam, mind you, but the kind of lapses that unless you have a quick wit and a seriously warped sense of humor, these lapses could really crush a sister's confidence. Case in point, I was on my, I don't know, millionth Zoom call of the year the other day. I know, slight exaggeration, but it's in the ballpark. And out of nowhere, I completely spaced a word. I mean, like gone, nothing, crickets, not even a single letter was coming to me. And now it wasn't a big sciencey word, mind you. It was an everyday word. Right on cue, Sarcastic Sam kicked in and said, "What's the English word for how you say?" And then when the word came back to me, I spit it out. Oh, right, container. Oh, how I love my little version, Sarcastic Sam. So the word was container, for crying out loud. A little thing you put food in, right? So I just laughed and laughed, and I had to confess to her that English is my only language, unless you consider sarcasm a formal language, which I totally do. But we were crying, just dying laughing from this admission. And here's the deal. Not only are we juggling all these different activities and responsibilities and running our businesses and our lives, we have the added pressure of perimenopause to contend with. This is where having a variety of skills and tactics to put into play really comes in handy. Things like a go-to mindfulness exercise practice, a yoga practice, other types of exercise like heavy lifting. I lift the heavy thing and I put it back down, then repeat until I'm exhausted. That is my personal go-to. Another incredibly helpful tactic to have in the old resilience quiver during perimenopause is tapping into trusted confidants with whom you can discuss things that may elicit feelings of vulnerability. And let me tell you, not everyone deserves to hear your stories, especially the ones that make you feel vulnerable. When we don't have positive coping mechanisms, we turn to less positive things like alcohol, shopping, complaining, numbing out, endless scrolling on social media, and so on. And in case you're keeping up with it and you're wondering, dry January is going quite well for me. A little over 2 weeks and not a drop has passed these lips and no cravings, which is super cool. So now back to this. The reason these women were suffering with feelings of anxiety is that they don't have anyone to talk to. They're isolating themselves emotionally now, and it is seriously affecting their mental well-being. Now, perimenopause is a transition every woman will navigate, and we need a no BS playbook of sorts to help us with the trickier aspects of what comes our way. Perimenopause is no joke, and it does not play fair. So over the next few weeks, I'll be talking more about stress and how perimenopause compounds its effects, along with how to counter it with resilience training. I'll share these blog posts and podcast episodes with you here. If there is a specific aspect of this topic that you would like me to explore, please comment below and let me know your thoughts. If the topic is more on the sensitive nature, absolutely feel free to contact me through LinkedIn Messenger. To be clear, the type of anxiety I'm addressing is the general sense of angst that is most often labeled as anxiety. I'm not talking about the acute anxiety disorder, which definitely needs to be addressed by an experienced mental health professional. More on this distinction to come. I hope you are kicking off your week on a fabulous note and that the positive vibes I've included with this video carry you through your week. If you want to receive those weekly emails that have highlights and insights like this one that pertain to our journey as midlife women, click the link I've included in the post to opt in. Bye for now.